Hey, it's McGann, here to be absolutely evil and throw another video in between my theories. I totally skipped over a huge chunk of my notes, and it's kind of important for what I have to say later on, so I'm going to call this theory part 1.5, and you can totally skip it if you want to, but it is going to cover the stuff in episode 2. And since I ended part 1 by saying that I don't think the unknown is purgatory or any kind of afterlife, I'm going to pick up there. Now, I know what most people are screaming in their heads right now. What about episode 2 and all the living skeletons? That is absolute proof that it is some kind of purgatory or underworld location. Well, Pottsfield, the first town Wirt and Greg find, is a town full of animated skeletons wearing pumpkin costumes, and there is a ton to look at here. I believe these creatures are truly dead because they have to be dug up from deep underground to participate in the party, and one of the skeletons makes the comment to Wirt that he's too early in reference to the fact that Wirt still has flesh on his bones. Not to mention all the talk of never leaving Pottsfield as if it's a final resting place. And who is the head honcho of Pottsfield? A giant pumpkin-headed creature named Enoch who tells the brothers, "You'll join us someday." Well, while on my name research kick, I happened to find that Enoch is not one, but 3 different things in the Bible. There is an Enoch, which is a relation to Adam and Eve via their 3rd son Seth. This Enoch is the father of Methuselah and the great-grandfather of Noah. Now, maybe the over the garden wall Enoch is supposed to be a reference to this Enoch from the Bible, but as I understand it, this Enoch was taken into heaven without actually dying because he was so holy and devout. And I guess we do see the Enoch pumpkin guy as being sort of a judge, jury, and executioner for Pottsfield, so maybe he is very righteous and by the book, and that's what the reference is. But the other 2 Enochs referenced in the Bible have a much more odd background that is maybe a better fit. I'll let you decide. I am not a religious scholar by any stretch of the imagination, so please excuse me if I muck this up royally. But it looks like Cain killed Abel, so God sent Cain to the land of Nod, where he had a son named Enoch. Then Cain named the city that he founds after his son too. So there's Enoch, his son, and Enoch the City. But oddly enough, it's pretty hard to find any information on this Enoch. So I threw this question out on Facebook only to learn from a Mormon friend that Cain's son Enoch was apparently cursed. His skin was turned dark as punishment. And the city of Enoch was supposed to be a place where people did what they wanted and sort of snubbed their nose to God's law. Assuming that my friend wasn't jerking my chain with this information, that is incredibly interesting, because nowhere else in the unknown do we see living skeletons, so they could definitely be seen as snubbing their noses at the rules of death. And at the end of episode 10, a little black cat pops out of the top of Enoch's pumpkin head. It seems to be implied that the cat has been piloting Enoch. And in the opening of episode 1, we see a similar looking cat using a turkey-drawn cart filled with pumpkins, and the cat looks like he's up to no good. I don't know what exactly he's doing, but something looks really off in his expression. In episode 2, we do see the cat briefly, and he's shown as dancing at the festival with the pumpkin people. But as soon as Enoch comes alive, the black cat is not found again on screen. What I do find really odd about Pottsfield is that it's the only city in the entirety of the unknown that we're given a name for. Because we hear things like the animal school, the tavern, Endicott's mansion, but this is the only city that has a name, and that's a little bit bizarre. So it seems like maybe with the city part of the reference, that might be something there. So black cat versus dark skin and a city going against the norm and doing whatever it pleases. It seems like that could be more of a connection there. But at the same time, I tried to research this myself and I really didn't come up with a whole lot. And this is intended to be informational in purposes and not be a condemnation towards any people of color whatsoever. I'm just kind of curious if this is really a thing in the Mormon Bible and maybe if people can sort of elaborate for me. So I guess this video is also sort of asking for help with this research on this matter to kind of figure out the piece of this puzzle. So again, please, 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 please don't twist this or try to take offense to it in a way that I do not mean, because this is not to say anything negative about any person of color. So with all of this mounting evidence, how can I discredit the idea that the unknown is purgatory or the afterlife? Well, I'm afraid that's going to be in the next video. And thank you again for watching, and I'll see you very shortly in the next video where I actually do explain what the heck I think the unknown is.